Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this good Monday. Please make sure you subscribe to me on SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. I'm on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod, and I'm also on Instagram at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. We got some shit to get into. First up on the docket, Tyrese versus Tank Verzuz. So I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to watch this Thursday night, so I waited. I didn't really watch no clips or anything like that. I avoided pretty much staying on social media. I saw some tweets though. I saw some reactions on Instagram just by, it is what it is. You can't completely avoid everything. But the way that some people were talking on the timeline, you would have thought that Tyrese got smoked. Now, prior in my prediction, I said on paper Tyrese should win this versus just based off I feel like he got the better hits. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of Tank like that, but I know his resume speaks for itself. I know he's written hits for other artists, including himself. I'm just not. I just was never a fan of Tank really, just performance wise or song making wise. But he does have the catalog. But honestly, it was a great versus. I think it was a great versus. Like the way people were talking, you would have thought that Tyrese got smoked. That wasn't the case at all. They had their little funny moments here and there and shit like that. But all in all, it was a great versus. It could go either way as far as a winner. I didn't leave that versus thinking that somebody was the convincing winner. I didn't think that at all. Even with Tank bringing out his guests, his guests, he brought out Latoya Luckett, he brought out Trey Songz, he brought out Jamie Foxx. The only thing I will say though, when he brought out Jamie Foxx, he could have saved that little last, extra where Jamie Foxx was basically talking to the crowd, getting them to say his name, all that extra shit. But all in all, it was a great versus, man. Tyrese performed a lot of the records that I said before, and I enjoyed it. Lately is probably my favorite Tyrese joint. He performed that. Of course, he ended it with Sweet Lady. I would have liked for him to perform his verse on Best Man, though. That's the only thing I wish Tyrese would have did. Was he could have did his verse off of the Best Man. But all in all, it was a great. Now, I will say, when his first record was pulling me back with Chingy, I thought that was kind of risky. I'm like, damn, you pulling this one out the tuck on the first track? I mean, all right. I mean, because that's a haymaker. That's one of Tyrese's haymakers. So for him to do that on the first track was kind of crazy to me. I'm like, damn, bro, we pulling out the haymaker on the first round. All right, cool. But Tank, I will say though, even though I'm not really a fan of Tank like that, Tank had a great stage presence. He had a great stage presence. Both of their mics was on as far as vocals. Like nobody sounded bad. Tyrese didn't sound bad. Tank didn't sound bad. But as far as like, stage presence, Tank really if I give the edge to anybody as far as performance, it would probably be Tank because he played to the crowd a little bit more. He was definitely in his bag. Not to say Tyrese wasn't neither, but Tyrese was changing outfits and shit like that. Tank, he was pretty much singing, kind of, dancing a little bit to some of the records and shit like that. But I think it was a dope versus, man. I think it was a dope versus. Both parties showed up. Nothing seemed forced. Nobody seemed like they was tired of doing it or none of that. But I'm glad I watched it when I watched it without any like social media influence, any takes like that. Because again, you could be watching some shit and then you scroll in the TL and then the TL will make it seem like some shit going on. And it's all perspective at the end of the day. But I didn't leave that versus thinking that Tyrese got smoked at all. Cause I'm like, damn, bro, like I hope he really didn't let me down like that. Cause again, like I said, Tyrese also was a loose cannon, so you never knew. That's why I was going with my gut in terms of Tank winning because you just never know. He unpredictable. He might get up there, start giving a speech, might fuck around and just say, "Man, I'm off this shit," whatever the case may be. But Tyrese performed very, very, very well. Him and Tank together delivered a great verses, and I think it's one of the best verses we done seen, man. So salute to both of them for giving us a dope R&B verses. We still need another one. I'm hearing some names like Joe should probably do one. I think Donnell Jones and Joe would be a dope verses. Joe and Donnell Jones would be a dope versus. I don't know who I would pick in terms of winning because both of them are heavy hitters. Both of them got hits for their own and that they done for others. But I think a lot of people probably would pick Joe to win that, but I just don't want to sleep on nobody because you just never know. But if we can get a Joe and Donnell Jones versus, I think that'd be up there with Tank and Tyrese. I really do. I think that'd be dope. It would be nice to see Genuine get on the stage and do a versus, but I don't know who he would go up against. I did see some KC versus Cisco. I think that'd be very, very good. I think that'd be dope as well. I don't know if they would bring out, some of the group members to do some of their hits or whatever, but I think Casey and Cisco that's an even matchup right there. That's an even, especially vocally. I think both of them are kind of in the same range. I think Cisco is the best singer of his era, just vocal performance wise. I don't think nobody fucking with, probably except for Kanye from Boys II Men. Kanye from Boys II Men, yeah, he's a different beast. I put him up there with Cisco. But I think Cisco and KC can deliver a dope versus as well if we get another R&B one. As far as the women, I pretty much feel like we got all the heavy hitters as far as we not gonna get Mariah and Mary. It would be dope to see, but Mary already said she ain't gonna do it. Mariah, tough sledding. But as far as everybody else, we got Brandy, we got Monica. That was dope. I just can't think of nobody. We already got SWV and Escape. Did they go up against Escape? I think that was Escape. So it's really just Mary and Mariah for real that we really need to see on the versus stage. But I'm not holding my breath on that. That's something that I believe that we just not gonna get. It's wishful thinking. It would be dope. It'd be legendary because Mary catalog goes without saying. But as far as a male one, I think Joe. Yeah, I think Joe and Donnell Jones could give us a dope one, man. Joe and Donnell Jones, that'd be a dope matchup. Both was heavy hitters around the same time. Both of them got a classic album. They got hits. They probably could go 20 for 20. If I had to, they probably could go 20 for 20. I don't know. They might play in between. They definitely got 10. They're probably playing between that 10 to 15 range. I think Joe would have a little bit more to go to, but we'll have to wait to see. But again, salute to Tyrese and Tank, and man, niggas definitely dragged him, man. Tank got busy. Tyrese got busy. I was looking at the comments and I'm like, damn, bro, this nigga went crazy like that. And then even when they said Trey Songz came out, like Trey, the fit he had on was crazy, but Trey performed pretty good. I'm not even going front on dog. He needs to do one actually, because Trey Songz has a dope catalog. He has a dope catalog, especially on that front end. So I don't know who he would match up against. I remember there was one time people was talking about him and Omarion, and I think he kind of took like offense to that. But we already got Omarion versus Mario, so I don't know who else possibly in that class. And Neo already went up against, I think he went up against Jonte Austin. So yeah, I don't know who Trey, as far as his era, who would Trey go up against. I would have to sit down and think about that. But I definitely look forward to some more verses, especially from the rap side of things. So salute to both Tyrese and Tank for getting busy, man. Niggas delivered, man. And I'm glad Tyrese didn't let me down, man, for sure. So next up, Kanye West dropped his anticipated album, Bully. Now, this album has been slated to release at least 4 or 5 times in the last 2 years. I'm not even gonna hold you. Every time I seen a tweet or I seen an IG post, it's about Bully supposed to come out. This is on Bully. And I'm just like, bro, at this point, man, just stop talking about this album. It ain't coming out but we all know how Kanye West go in terms of releasing and doing the album. This nigga is gonna make it extra. He's gonna push back whatever initial date. I don't even know. This album has been teased so much. I don't even remember the original release date. That's how much this shit has been having release date, songs leaking, and this might be on there, this might not be on there. But you already know how Kanye West go. Like whatever date he originally has, don't believe that date. That date is some bullshit. It's not gonna be that date. But it released on a Saturday, actually. It released on a Saturday. And it's a cool album, man. It's nothing too crazy at all. He got a few standout tracks on here. I like Whatever Works and Bully with CeeLo Green. Everything else is pretty much cool. It's 18 tracks. It's 42 minutes. I am surprised that it's this many tracks in that short of a length, but it is what it is. It's like I said, it's nothing. I didn't really have too many expectations for this album because again, it's been teased so much. Kanye West, he's pretty much past his prime, so he's already solidified in my book. To me, he's top 5 rapper all time to me. So I'm not really, heavily critiquing this album as far as what this does for him. He's pretty much solidified. Kanye West is one of the best rappers of all time. But as far as this album, like I said, it's 18 tracks. Like I said, I love for whatever works and Bully. Everything else is pretty much cool. Highs and Lows is dope. I like Circles with Don Toliver. He was getting busy on there. White Lines. Uh, Travis Scott, Father. That's dope. All the Love with Andre Troutman. That's pretty much that's pretty good. If I had to rate it, I'd probably just give it a solid 7. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Nothing too crazy. 6.5, 6.5, 7 out of 10. Man, it's cool. I felt like this was something he just wanted to put out so he can just get it over and done with because it's been teased so much. I didn't even, based off of what I previously heard, I don't even know if I heard what I heard before on this album. That's what I'm thinking. Like I don't even know if I heard before if it was on this album. That's how much times this shit done been scrapped done over again. I know there was a little EP for Bully that had came out I think 2 years ago. So we already know Kanye West. He's a madman. He's a madman, and when he get behind the boards, he can get busy. Like he's never lost it as far as that. But it's cool, man. It's nothing crazy. It's not bad though. It's not a bad album at all. But it's pretty much cool. I love what for whatever works, and I love Bully with CeeLo Green. Shout out to CeeLo Green too, man. CeeLo, he's a sneaky feature. I always kind of felt like CeeLo Green. It's funny because I was listening to In the Wind with him and Trick Daddy the other day, and I hadn't heard that song in a long time, but it took me back to when that song first came out. That song is fire, and CeeLo just got that vibe about himself. Like he's gonna bring excitement to a record, especially with his voice, because he got a very unique voice when he get on a record. So I want to shout out to CeeLo Green, man, because CeeLo Green is a sneaky feature, but it has to work though. Like you just can't slap him on anything. That's the thing about CeeLo. If you getting CeeLo on a record, he's one of those artists where it has to fit. Cause if it don't fit, it's not gonna sound right. It's not gonna sound right at all. You gotta scrap it. You gotta do it all over again. That's how unique of a voice he has. So shout out to CeeLo Green, man. Like I said, Travis Scott is on here. Don Toliver's been having a great year. Actually, Octane is still selling, consistently putting up some good sales numbers. So salute to Don Toliver. I like when him and Kanye West get together, man. That's a perfect marriage as well too. Like I know when Kanye West gets Don Toliver, he's gonna put on a track that's definitely gonna fit his style. Excuse me. So yeah, that's Bully, man. Bully is 18 tracks. You get a chance, check that out. It released on a Saturday. And of course, it released on a Saturday. Kanye West not gonna release on a Friday like everybody else. He gotta be different somehow. But honestly, honestly, I think it released on a Saturday because he probably had some, some last minute touch ups he had to do. You know how this nigga go, man. This nigga always gotta. He's not gonna stick to the original plan, man. He's not gonna stick to the original plan. The Locks dropped a new track with Jaheim. I definitely checked that out. What was the name of that record? Let me see. Cause I was listening to it this morning, and I was like, damn, these niggas probably got a album coming out soon. Yeah, it's Never Change with Jaheim and Trent Shelton. Yeah, so you get a chance, check that out, man. Hopefully, man, we get an album from the Locks, man. That'd be dope. Again, coming off the heels of last year when veteran rappers was dominating the rap game, it'd be dope to see these niggas come out and get busy, man. That'd be dope. Definitely love to see that, man. Definitely love to see that. So, shout out to the Locks on that. Anything else as far as new music? Nothing else. Oh, Juvenile dropped a new album, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. So I'm not gonna get on here and give no bullshit review when I really didn't listen to it. I see Chief Keef drop some new shit. I'm not really a Keef fan like that. Yeah, so I gotta listen to Juvenile album, and happy belated birthday to Juvenile. Also, he just had a birthday, man. Dope to see. Our legend still thriving. He was just on Joe Budden podcast too. He had a dope interview. Him and Manny Fresh was just on Joe's show. So salute to them on that. Now, next up, gotta speak about this. So Usher had an interview, and the interviewer asked him about Diddy, and Usher basically was saying how he wasn't gonna speak bad about Diddy in terms of what he had going on and all that other shit. So I want to go ahead and play the clip because I got my thoughts about this as well. All right, where we at with it? All right. He said he'll never negatively speak bad about Diddy. So let me go ahead. Let me play this.
This might be a bit controversial, but in the same way, I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history, but in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created, um, and I acknowledge that. Um, and that's why I see him as legacy.
Yeah. You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era.
Absolutely.
What'd you learn?
Puff was a mentor, but he was like you have that really really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time. I think that the idea of the level of discipline that came with that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally in hip hop. Now, you can't turn on the television and not see the influence of hip hop.
That's right.
But the people who actually made that appropriate and are the forefathers are people like Sean Combs. And not just in the great times that they had musically, but in the idea of being able to find ways to monetize culture and create something that was not just black or white. It was colorless. It was green. That's who I see that man as. And that's what I choose to remember. I put respect on his name because I realized that, what I learned as a businessman before I even understood what business was came as a result of seeing the incredible things that he was able to do and the way that he positioned himself as a businessman. There are trials and tribulations that come with the pressures of success and power. But what we choose to do with it is what I hope that you see with me and hopefully all the people that I'm involved with, right?
So here's my thing with this, right? Because he said, funny thing is, uh, about a few weeks ago, I asked a few of my friends, I was like, do you think your experience matters more with someone versus others? And their experience uh, is probably, I would say, bad. Versus yours, you ain't never had no bad encounterment. It's always been good. It's always been love, respectful, the whole lot. And the answer I pretty much got in some cases, mine would matter more. It would just depend on what it is. But if it's a continuous theme with a lot of people, I would have to like monitor that. I wouldn't discount their experience at all. And honestly, I feel like in this moment, Usher should have. When you say I'll never negatively speak on him, and then you highlight all his accomplishments, I feel like throughout most of his career, honestly, Diddy has been celebrated. It wasn't until recently that all this shit came out. So, when you say you choose to only highlight, you know, the positive things and never speak negatively, I mean, what we saw on camera. We saw what we saw on camera with Cassie. We saw, all the, information and details that came out in his case. And granted, he wasn't on trial for what he did to Cassie. But in combination with that, if you know it's going to be controversial, you could have just basically said, hey, you know what? Listen, I'm not in support of what he did. And, me and him, we had a time in our career where, we did some great work together and just leave it at that. But when you just go into, I think it's, honestly, I feel like it's, it's insensitive to, the victims and everybody, who had a bad experience with him. That's essentially what I'm saying. Especially now, timing matters. Like this not 2004. This not 2010. This not 2016 where, we had none of this information for real. Yeah, you had little rumblings here and there, but Diddy has always been throughout most of his career the example of black excellence. So to make it sound like as if he ain't never got his roses, that's why I'm kind of like, all right, bro, like, what are we doing for real? Like throughout most of his career, he has always been celebrated as like the one, like the mogul, like black excellence, and all this other shit. Even with him being like, hard on, like with the making the band and all this other shit, he has for the most part always gotten his roses. So with Usher, it's kind of like, I don't know, bro. Especially after what we've seen on camera, or you could have just said, next question, and leave it at that because of how sensitive his name is and everything that's you know revolving around him. Because what's so funny is, throughout the last couple years, all the people who celebrated Diddy, especially the ones who are celebrities as well, they haven't spoken up. They haven't spoken up. A lot of them haven't had said nothing about this man when all that shit was going on. Not saying that they had to. And then when the verdict came down that he wasn't found guilty on some, it just guilty of the the sex trafficking or whatever, a few people had something to say. So I never see a situation where he's gonna come back and be fully embraced by the culture. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. I think when he comes home, he's gonna be somebody who's gonna be living low key. That Diddy party shit, dead. Like making appearances at award shows, dead. Being celebrated, dead. If he decides to do music, I don't feel like it's gonna be a situation where people are gonna be jumping out the window to try to get a feature for him or want to work for him. I think the damage is already done. I think the damage is already done. And I think if you had an experience with him, this in this moment is not the time to highlight it. Like, cause what's going on around him at the time is just, I feel, in my opinion, it's insensitive. Usher could have kept that shit to himself, honestly. He could have kept that shit to himself, man. Like, cause you basically trying to just dress up and, you know, basically avoid all the shit that we just seen him do. Especially what he did to Cassie. Like, we seen that. We seen that. So that, I always say your art form is not your makeup. What you do in the studio, what you did business wise, that shit don't trump who you are as a person. Like, after seeing that, it's like, what else is there to say? Okay, yeah, he did all these great things for you in business, yeah, all this other shit, but I feel like in that moment, that's not even the time to highlight that shit, because now what we see on camera is somebody's character. That's what we see. So, yeah, Usher, I can't give Usher on that one, man. And I was actually surprised that he took that route. That was very, very, very surprising, man. That's crazy. He said, I would never like we all not. And then I hate that we all like nobody's perfect. And that, yeah, nobody's perfect, but I don't put my hands on women. Like, that's yeah, that's I hate that line. That line is so terrible, man. We all know what he did for music. That's the thing. This is not one of those moments where we feel like somebody never get their roses. If anybody in the music industry has gotten their roses, it's Sean Diddy Combs. It's Sean Combs. Like, this is not one of those artists where it's like, oh, he had this one act and then oh man, we should have celebrated him. No, 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 no. He's always gotten his props. Always gotten his props. So yeah, I can't get with Usher on that one. So moving on. Next up, Jay-Z had an interview with GQ magazine. I checked out the interview the other day. I'm gonna be real. That interview was kind of blah. It was kind of blah. They did the whole switching clothes and switching locations thing as well in terms of how this interview was set up. But I wasn't really feeling it. I really feel like I didn't gain too much. I kind of left it like, okay. And then he didn't really give me no answers as far as, if new music is gonna come. Now he did speak about, last year when he went through the whole lawsuit situation with Busby, had that put him in a dark place and stuff like that. So I think that was important for him to speak to as well, because that was a monumental moment for him as far as his career and what he had going on. That was a major, major thing. Of course, nothing transpired from that. It got thrown out. But I think it was necessary for him to speak on that and speak to that as well. But he also mentioned another big thing that had a lot of conversations flowing, and that was in terms of the Drake and Kendrick battle in terms of how he feel about battling in rap. So I want to go ahead. I want to play that clip because that was very, very, very controversial. So let me go ahead. Let me play that.
We love the excitement, and I love the sparring and the music you get. But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it. They almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes, no matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth. Where the fallout lands, especially on on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't like that. Maybe I've grown in a space that is probably I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing. And, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
And now it's just like every day they're just trying
they're
to
still talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song, I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back.
Yeah.
And we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm going to say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Interesting.
I hate that I have this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate it. We love the excitement.
So, Jay-Z, Sean Carter. So, this whole, you don't feel like, you don't know if battling should be a part of, rap anymore. I'm so tired of everybody acting like as if the Drake and Kendrick battle was so deep. It wasn't. Nobody got hurt. No lives was lost. It stayed at bars. Yes, the contents of the records were, Drake was calling him a woman beater. He was calling him a pedo. But all in all, though, man, we got a great battle. Again, it's one of the greatest rap battles we've seen in rap history. Top 2 for me, personally. I think we have to be honest in terms of how we're really viewing this and what we're giving too much power to. Like, he also said something about stans. Stans have always been around. Stans have been around before I was alive, probably before Jay-Z was alive. All it is a transfer to the internet and we get to see more of them. But they're not dictating, like, what's going on. They're a stan. Eminem made Stan in 2000. Like, we know what a stan is. So when people will be like, dog, do y'all think stans just became some new thing? Stans are not a new thing. They've been around. They're going to be around. They're going to forever be around. We just got to stop. We got to accept that's who they are, though. And then a lot of the times what people do is, if they have a difference of view, you automatically view somebody as a stan. No, that's not what that is. That's just somebody who's a fan with a different opinion. The conversations, you can spot a stan versus a fan, bro. You can spot the difference. And I think a lot of the times we just give it too much power in terms of, oh man, but they have that label for a reason. They had that label for a reason. Nothing happened to Drake. Nothing happened to Drake. His reputation wasn't hurt. I said this plenty of times before. His reputation wasn't hit. He didn't lose no deals. He still was going on tours, selling out tours. And if you felt like that, you wouldn't have allowed Kendrick to perform Not Like Us on the Super Bowl stage if you truly felt like that. To me, that's a contradiction with him saying that. Because then you talk, oh, you family and wives and kids and all this other shit. Well, this man was performing Not Like Us on the Super Bowl stage, and we all know what that song is about. So that's why I feel like he's being disingenuous in terms of this whole battling. And battling will always be a part of rap, period. And this is why I highlighted Joey Badass last year in terms of his performance, what he did with the West Coast. And niggas kept it at bars and they get personal. And he got busy on the whole coast. Spank niggas. But sometimes I think us as even fans, not stans, us as fans, we can get caught up in this notion that we are thinking or assuming that something is that deep when it's really not. You got to look at the outcome. You got to look at what we got from it. We can sit here and debate all day if J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick hate each other. That's dead to me. Niggas hate it. Cool. I'm going off what I seen. We got about 6-7 dope records. One day just went crazy. Friday, May 3rd, I think it was. Went crazy. And that was that. There was no bloodshed. There was none of that. Now, again, have we had rap battles in the past that have gotten serious, gone beyond the booth? Yes. But I feel like we've had moments also where we had battles and it stayed at the bars, and that's how it should be. So with Jay, with being how big he is, I think that was kind of like it sends a bad message in terms of where we can go with the culture as far as, because now this a nigga got to walk on eggshells when he want to friendly spar with somebody. Now, if you feel like in your heart of hearts that is, hey, bro, listen, this ain't going to be able to stay at no bars. We got to have a conversation. Then have a conversation. But if niggas just simply saying that, oh, I rap better than you, which is one of my biggest issues with J. Cole, with this whole shit, we're going to get on that in a minute. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, Jay, if you felt like that, I believe you wouldn't have allowed Kendrick to perform Not Like Us on that Super Bowl stage. If you truly felt like that, that's my honest opinion on that. Okay, well, if you're telling me you don't think rap, and that was just a month ago. So don't tell me for people saying, oh, he might have had it. This is not even about, because people are talking about, oh, he's allowed to grow. Jay's 100% allowed to grow. He's 100% allowed to grow. 100%. We all don't think the same at 25 or what, Jay's 56 now? Yeah, 100%. He was in one of the biggest battles ever himself. But at the same time, too, I don't think we should be able to take that. We cannot take the element of battling away from rap. We just cannot do that. It has to stay. It has to stay, because that's what makes it, I think that's what pushes it forward. I think it's like iron sharpening iron. Hey, bro, I rap better than you. Hey, I rap better than you. Okay, let's get it on. It's just like basketball. I look at it like a sport. And if you can have a moment where everybody's sitting back just getting these dope records of two people sparring at each other, two titans at that, why not? So no, this shit don't need to go away. It needs to stay right where it's at. And honestly, we need to appreciate the moments, because I've always said this. The big three, they on the back. I wouldn't say they on the back end, but like these niggas in their 40s now. So it's like we've all been asking, who's the passing of the torch? We probably won't get another moment like this. So what we gonna say when time passes? Be like, I don't think people really are gonna say 15, 20 years from now, yeah, man, that battle went too far. I think people really gonna say, man, that was a dope moment in hip hop. Man, that was a dope moment. I remember that Friday. Oh, I remember when Like That dropped. I remember when Push-Ups dropped. Oh, shit. I remember when Euphoria dropped. I remember when 616 in LA dropped. Friday was going crazy. Then we got Meet the Grams. Oh, he stepped on Family Matters. Oh, shit. Then he spun around and got, Not Like Us. And then we got the Hard Part. So like, bro, all that's going to be remembered. I don't think we're going to look back 15, 20 years from now and be like, yeah, that battle went too far. That's why I can't get with Jay on that, because battling That's the big piece of the pie when it comes to this rap shit. Everybody knows it's basically like a contact sport, man. If you one of the best, you saying one of the best, well, somebody might send a little sub, something like that, and really see what that pen is like. And niggas' pen was on display. So it has to stay. And one thing I want to mention too, because this was so funny. Loaded Lux had a response video to Jay-Z, which I thought was so funny. And for battle rappers to be so witty and so nice with the way they put their bars together, their schemes, their performances, that was a big moment of lack of comprehension. I can't believe niggas really thought that Jay was talking about battle rap leagues being away from. He wasn't talking about that, man. He wasn't talking about that, man. I was looking at this shit. I'm like, damn, these niggas going in on Jay. I'm like, what the fuck is Loaded Lux talking about, bro? Like, Jay's not talking about battle rap leagues getting like being done away with. Come on, y'all. Like, that's crazy. But also Jay spoke about, everybody's had questions about him and Cole and, is there any beef there? And he's like, nah, man, we just allowed him to find his own way. We kind of transferred his deal from what we originally had to a distribution deal, which was dope for him. He was able to obtain his masters. And Cole also said that same thing on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn too. So people have always kind of felt like, well, over the last 4 or 5 years that there has been something between him and Jay, which I never really saw either. So I never really paid it no attention, but he did speak to that as well. And, but yeah, outside of that major thing, as far as, battling, being away from the culture, the interview was kind of like, I really didn't gain nothing from it. It was kind of like a snooze fest for real. No disrespect to the interviewer. Because I seen a lot of people saying the interviewer was too young to interview Jay. I don't feel like that at all. I just felt like the conversation was just a bunch of rambling. It was just a bunch of rambling, honestly. Like, I felt there could have been a little bit more pushback, some more questions as to regards to like music direction, what we're going to get from that. But yeah, the interview, I kind of let that interview kind of like, yeah, bro, like anything else, I'm kind of like, I'm cool on it, man. I don't think there was nothing else that I felt like he said that I needed to mention. That's pretty much it as far as that. So, we all know Jay-Z got his 25th anniversary for the Blueprint show on July 11th, and then you got his 30th anniversary for Reasonable Doubt on July 10th. That's coming up for the 30th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt. So everybody's anticipating music, but I'm not gonna get excited. I'm not gonna get excited at all, man. I mean, we ain't get an album from Jay in 9 years. I can't believe 444 came out 2017. That's crazy. So it'll be 9 years since that album came out, but it is what it is. So moving on. J. Cole, again. Jermaine. So Jermaine appeared on Talk with Fleetwood Cameron. And, he had a lot of talks about what happened with, the battle and, and everything. Pretty much what he said with Nadeska as well, right? But what I need Cole to stop doing is, because it's really is bothering me, and I feel like he's insulting my intelligence. He needs to stop saying how much he loves Drake and Kendrick on these interviews. We get it, bro. You love them niggas. I want to see this one. That straddling the fence shit has to stop. And if I'm Drake, he's well within his rights to smoke Cole on Ice, man. That's just me being real. I'm being honest here. He has every right to smoke him because you keep saying, the way they turned on him in the culture, but that don't take away from what Kendrick did. But if that man felt like that, and but yo, I love what, and I hope Iceman go, but I still hope Kendrick, brother. The simple fact of the matter is, you didn't want to battle when you had the opportunity. You sitting here, you going on both, and then, he talking about all this shit about the only reason why he put out 7-minute drill because of the pressure, and he had to do it, and, oh, bro, this was bad timing, no, why now, da-da-da-da-da. After begging for smoke for 4 or 5 years. It wasn't that fucking deep. It wasn't that deep. I said this last week. You saying a nigga discography wasn't like that is not no fucking personal shot. What Kendrick said on Like That wasn't a personal shot. It wasn't. It was simply, I rap better than you, let's get busy. And you didn't want to participate. But stop telling us to soften and make it look honorable because you love these niggas. That doesn't mean anything to me. This is not me saying you shouldn't show love to your niggas, but context matters here. We're talking off the heels of a battle. You're trying to soften the blow. You said what you said on Port Antonio, and now you keep trying to add it. It's making it look worse, bro. It's like he's going on this humiliation tour. Enough is enough. We get it. You love both of these niggas. Y'all came up around the same time frame. All niggas wanted from you is a battle. I would respect Cole if he would just say, honestly, bro, I didn't want to rap. I'm not going to make no excuses. I'm not going to sit up here and try to dress nothing up. I simply didn't want to rap and just leave it at that. That's it. That's all you had to say. Because you're saying you get in a cam, and then even with him explaining, see, I feel like sometimes Cole don't even believe some of the shit that he's saying just based off it. So when he's talking about the whole lawsuit thing with Cam, because they knocked that out the way off rip. It took this nigga at least 15, 20 minutes to basically say, hey, bro, I just didn't have the time and I didn't get back to you. He keeps saying every time Cam reached out to him, yo, my first thought was this. My first thought was this. My first thought was that. Then I thought, bro, tell the man you was working on the album, bro, and you couldn't get back to him. Just keep it a buck. Hey, bro, listen. I've been forgetting about you because I've been so focused on this album, bro. How about this? I just reach out to you when I can. I'm not going to keep giving you no time frame, keep playing. It took this nigga like 15, 20 minutes just to say that, bro. It's like Cole wants to be, he keeps saying, yo, I feel so good because, you know, people really feel how I feel. So I'm like, bro, you keep giving these PC answers. Like you want to stand on, you straddling the fence. At a certain point in time, it just became where it's just like rambling. Brother, just get it out. Just you keep saying my first thought this, my first thought that, my first thought this, my first thought that. Like it's this whole battle didn't have to go the way that it had to go. And this is off the heels again. I love Mike Delete Later. So I salute him for what he was going through for him to still give us that project. That was dope. But all this extra shit, all this trying to dress it up shit has to stop, man. It has to stop. Like that shit is played out. I also want to highlight what he also said on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn in terms of feeling like he's when he spoke about being the best rapper, if he feeling like he's the best rapper, because that was kind of controversial too.
On any given day, even my peers, a Drake or a Kendrick, where it's like, yo, I know on any given day I can show up to the studio and give these niggas 80. Mm-hmm. But I know they can show up on any day in the studio and give me 80. Mm-hmm. And I might only have 30. Like, so if I'm taking on a rap persona, like when I'm rapping, mm-hmm. Of course, that's what I like to, that's how I like to rap. And guess what? Sometimes I hit the mark and I say shit and I spit a verse that really might have you believe in that shit. But if you ask me in real life, do I walk around like I'm the best rapper alive? No, nigga. Mm-hmm. Like I'm the best ever? No. But when I put on that motherfucking cape, mm-hmm. Like that's how I try to attack shit. And have there been things and moments and verses where I'm writing this shit and I'm like, I know niggas not fucking with this. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But in reality, do I walk around this earth like there's no nigga better than me in real life? Like I can't get in the studio with Black Thought and he just give me 90. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there like, I got 25 for you. You know what I mean? Or any one of these amazing rappers. But yeah. I think people hear me say it because they don't know me for real. Right. They hear me say it in a verse so much when I have on the cape.
It sounds convincing like a motherfucker.
It sounds convincing, man. It sounds convincing because I'm really doing that shit that's going to have a nigga like, man, yeah, nigga. You think when you hear it, nigga. You just scared that people actually believe that. Yeah. But the truth is, nigga, have I done things that are on that caliber? Absolutely. Like, are there people that'll get in there and smack me? Absolutely. Can I get in that same studio on another given day and smack them around? Absolutely. It's no different than basketball. How many times you done gave a nigga 50 or 40 and then turn around and he done gave you 50 or 40? Like, it's no different. You know what I mean? So like, I think people think that I like walk around with that mentality or something. It's like, bro, that's not even my character. You know what I mean? To walk around thinking like, I hope that I do something when I sit down to write that can be considered at that level. You know what I mean? But I already know it's a lot of niggas out there that, while I'm hoping,
Yeah.
they might be doing that shit right beside me.
Yeah.
And they might give me 60.
Okay, now I need to know, Mello.
Yo.
So I don't want to get onto it, Mello, because he basically talking about how that relates. But I understand what Cole's saying. Trust me, I understand what he's saying. But that part of it is just, you know what, it might not be in him. And a part of me don't even want to believe him just because of, I think he's saying that because of how he left that battle. I think he's saying that I don't feel like I'm the best rapper alive shit because of how he left that battle. I think that's a part of it. But you're not going to tell me you came into all the greats have had that moment. Wayne, Jay, Drake, Kendrick, all of them have felt like I'm the best rapper alive at a certain point in time. Point blank, period. And if you're if you're performing a craft and you feel like you're the best, you're warranted to say that. You are warranted to say that. I don't think that's an indictment on you. He's trying to make it seem like it's an indictment on his character. Like, oh, nigga, who are you? Yeah, nigga, I'm exactly who I think I am. Shit, I feel like I'm the best solo podcaster in the world. It is what it is. But if you're doing something you passionate about it, there's nothing wrong with saying that you feel like you're the best rapper alive. And I said it before, like, bro, if you feel like you're the best or something, you warranted to say that, especially when you're performing to that level. Because again, during that 4 or 5 year stretch, Cole was acting and moving like he was the best rapper alive. That's what it was. So now to hear this, it's kind of like, bro, I just feel like he's saying that shit because of how he left that battle. And he probably feel like people don't want to hear that shit. So now you telling me all those rhymes you put down and all that shit when you was competitively sparring, you didn't really feel like you was the best, Cole? Stop it, bro. Stop it. I don't. Like anybody, I feel like if you doing something and it's multiple people in your field, you're supposed to feel like you're the best. That don't mean the others can't feel like they're the best. I'm just saying I feel like I'm the best. You should feel like you're better than me too. You should feel like you're better than me too. So with that, it's been a bad media run for Cole. It's been a bad media run for Cole. It really is. It really feel like it's a humiliation ritual that this nigga has been going on, bro. Also real shit, because it's like, when does it stop, bro? When does it stop? All this trying to clean it up. Like, I think he's trying to clean up his image off of what happened, and he's making it look worse. Because it's like, my goodness, bro. It's like, and again, if I'm Drake, bro, I'm going in on this nigga on Iceman, bro. I am. Like, all this friend shit, and, bro, we get it. All y'all cool. Like, when he talking about the origin of first-person shooter, and he was like, originally, the record was just supposed to be him and Kendrick. I'm like, all right. When originally I thought it was supposed to be, I thought it was just him and Cole, and he wanted to get Kendrick on the song because, again, the fans have been saying for years, and they listen to everything. The fans have been saying, bro, we need to get Cole, Kendrick, and Drake on the record, bro. We need that. So he don't get on the record, which I found surprising that Drake just wanted Kendrick on the record. Okay, cool. Because I remember there was a time frame where, Drake was he showed up to the Mr. Morale tour in Canada. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, these niggas ain't really got no static like that. He didn't want to do the record. Okay, cool. You come do it. So now it's like, then you get like that. And it's like, okay, I in that moment, I think you have to match that nigga Kendrick. Because this is not his first rodeo. He did that with Control. And this is what I keep telling niggas in terms of, for Kendrick, I never feel like it's personal. I think he just loves to catch niggas off guard and let it be known, y'all niggas not fucking with me. Because the first thing I said to myself when I heard him all like that, here this nigga go again. Why did I say that? Because that's his MO. That's what he does. When he came out 2021 on that record with Baby Keem, Family Ties, Smoking on Top Fives. Control, I'm trying to kill all you niggas. Big Crit, Drake, Cole, like that. Fuck the big three niggas, just big me. That's what he does. It's not personal. So I know Drake is probably looking at it like and I don't think he hates Cole or nothing like that. But he's like, he even said they really haven't spoken like that too much. Like, he was like, yo, I want to put these niggas on, I want to text these niggas, but then it's probably, they probably honestly looking at like, this nigga doing way too much, bro. Like, this not even no bad. This is not what you think it is. And I think that's what would make it more frustrating for me if I'm Drake, is because, all right, bro, like, if you want to keep doing this trial, I'm gonna make you pick a side, nigga. Like, goddamn, bro. It was supposed to be a triple death match. We didn't get it. Point blank, period. So, I mean, with Cole in these interview runs, it's kind of like, it really didn't help him in no such way. I know he keeps saying this thing about, this weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I feel so much better now, and da 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 da. All right, bro, cool. But spare me with this trying to dress it up act. I'm sick of it. I'm over that shit, bro. I'm over it. Moving on to some other wars. D Wade versus Pat Bev. So Pat Bev had an opinion, which has been a continuous thing. I really even haven't spoken about this on this pod because I feel how I feel about it. But this is probably gonna be the first time I'm actually mentioning it on this podcast. This whole James Harden versus Dwayne Wade thing. James Harden is better than Dwayne Wade all time. I don't care what nobody says. That's my mind. It's made up. I'm not having no debates about it. So Pat Bev uttered my same sentiments, right? And this is what Dwayne Wade had to say.
About me in state facts. I don't understand how you can have a conversation about me in state facts when you're not as good as me. Pat Bev came out and just talked about me and James. Another conversation with me and James.
Like, James Harden is a better player than Dwayne Wade.
Pat just came out definitive. He was definitive. James Harden is better than Dwayne Wade.
Stop.
He was very definitive in his answer, and I was just sitting there like, okay, Pat, what's your facts?
Right.
To say that someone's better, or just come out and say what I personally like, the style of play that I like to see.
That's a great way to
is
say
X, Y, and Z. Don't you ever fix your mouth to say nobody is better than me when you wasn't better than me. Like, you can't do that. Like, you talk about a better player, you're talking about every aspect of the game of basketball. You know how good I was at a lot of aspects of the game? Everybody, if you got a moment, like, subscribe, go support the check-in, go support Wide Network. I don't understand how you...
Bro, you know what I'm so sick and tired of with these athletes, and they try to put on this front as well and act like they tell on themselves when they say shit like this. These athletes just want you to kiss their ass. That's the reality. They want you to kiss their ass. They do this fake humble act. Oh, no, bro, I ain't, yo, bro, you was so dope. And these niggas be feeling like they better than certain niggas. But if a certain nigga say something, then they say some bullshit like this. That was some bullshit Dwayne Wade said. Because I'm going to tell you what, if Pat Bev said that Dwayne Wade was better than James Harden, he wouldn't be shooting at him like this. Because he view him less than. So it's okay if I'm giving you your props and saying you better, but if I simply say that somebody plays basketball better than you want to take it to a route where it's so personal. Why he can't say that? You sitting across from somebody who didn't even play. So what if the person you talking to sitting across from you said, "Hey, bro, I feel like James is played basketball better than you." You gonna shit on him too? That shit is corny. That shit is played out. We don't always have to agree when it comes in terms of who played basketball better. It's not that deep. It's not, Dwayne. Your man said James played basketball better than you. You want to talk about you ain't never been better than me. So people who are only better than you in basketball can say that somebody's better than you. Think about that. Really think about that, Dwayne. It's not that fucking serious, bro. That sounds like some personal shit that you got with Pat Bev. And y'all probably need to have a conversation. That ain't about no basketball, the way that you went in on that nigga. Plenty of people have been saying that James is better than you. Plenty of people have been saying you're better than James. That's just a conversation. That's what it is. So somebody who you feel like ain't better than you, they can't have an opinion about somebody who played basketball. James is a better basketball player than Pat. So that sounds like some personal shit in my opinion. And that shit was corny, bro. That shit was corny. I didn't like it. It was lame. And then conversations don't gonna go like that. Dwayne Wade is a all-time basketball player, top 5 shooting guard all time. I got James ahead of him by 1 spot. But with basketball, it's again, it's always got to get so fucking personal when it comes to these opinions. And I'm not even a fan of Pat Bev like that. I'm just talking about the topic at hand. Like, goddamn, bro, niggas can't have a fucking opinion, bro. It's something deeper there, based off of what I heard. And probably y'all need to have a sit down, have a conversation. Where are your facts? Where you been? Goddamn, bro. Analysts cover the game, been saying this shit too. So you gonna get on all the analysts who ain't played? But guess what, Dwayne? You somewhat of an analyst now. You be appearing on TNT and all this other shit. You don't got no broadcast background. So we got to stop all this. Oh, if you wasn't as good as me, you can't say no. Nah. That's not how this shit work. I'm sorry. You can take that shit somewhere else. Next up, man. What the fuck is Tiger Woods got going on, man? What the fuck does Tiger Woods have going on? This is getting caught up in DUIs again, man. I don't know. I saw a funny clip from The Sopranos when it was like, "This is Tiger Woods' life." It's basically showing Tony, drinking and driving and smashing random women and shit like that. Like, this nigga crashed his car again, and this is just shades of what happened in 2009, 2010. This shit is crazy, man. This shit was that crash was in 2009. 2009, that crash came, bruh. Woods was arrested Friday after a car crash that left his Land Rover lying on the driver's side on a Jupiter Island, Florida, according to law enforcement. Wood had been driving erratically in moments before the crash. His Land Rover clipped another vehicle and went over. The 15-time major champion winner was left to crawl out the passenger side of the car, luckily unhurt. And his mugshot looks crazy. When police arrived on the scene, they immediately suspected Woods was inebriated. He apparently wasn't drunk. A breathalyzer test turned up completely negative. Sheriff John Buznick told reporters he declined to take a urinalysis and was arrested and charged with that refusal, as well as for driving under the influence and property destruction. That's crazy. That's crazy. And he was just like, they was just talking about how he was on the way to come back and, get busy and shit. Like, Tiger got to chill, man. Tiger got to chill. This is like the second time that his car has been flipped over and he's been able to walk away with no injuries. Like, he needs to really take a look in the mirror, man, and check himself, man. This is not good. This is not good. And, even in that 2009 crash, I think what came from that was unnecessary because, then you had the shit about him cheating on his wife, all the women in his phone and all this other shit. Like, it didn't have to go that crazy. Like, basically, he was apologizing for cheating. Like, that was crazy. I never seen nobody have to publicly apologize for cheating. That's ridiculous. But, man, Tiger got to get right, man. Tiger, get your shit together, man. Because I don't want to get the news one day that you losing your life behind some shit like that. Like, you don't get too many chances like that, my nigga. So, chill the fuck out, bruh. Chill out. This nigga mugshot look crazy, man. Goddamn. So that's pretty much all I got for this week's show, man. Again, I want to thank y'all for tapping in with me, checking in with me. Again, please make sure y'all strive, pursue them goals, get busy. Don't let a bad day fuck up your week. Don't let a bad week fuck up your overall progress as well. Just keep on pushing, man. Keep on pushing. Stop procrastinating. Get busy. Get your ass in that gym. Get y'all lazy asses in that gym. And ultimately, please be safe. So like I say every week, man, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike. And I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.